this discussion, and then we have some idea of actually we create this kind of the initiative to enable all the monks to become together, and we engage together with the external party to create the conversation and communication skills, so that actually we have a more talking opportunity, and you can build up your own speaking skill set. So that's why actually we create this kind of opportunity, right? So in order to make it more effective, we create a little bit more discussion format. So this discussion format we can create as a private Zoom meeting, so that actually you can articulate whatever you are not ready to show to the public. So we protect your interest, and we make it as a private conversation. So you don't need to be shy, or no, everybody no need to be shy about to come forward to do the communication each other, so that once we reach out to the comfort level, then we can open up for the public speaking, right? So that's actually for this private Zoom. This is a private Zoom meeting, casual, friendly discussion. We can create like the family discussion. And of course, really, a lot of different country address different culture, address a monk differently. Some people address as a vulnerable, or some are actually band-aid. So for our Myanmar community, we used to call monk as a Siado and Siale. So we adopt the same lingo that actually we stay adopt in this Zoom meeting. We will stay use the Siado and Siale, right? So we promote this usage scenario. Then also we create the 3 role here, right? So speaker role. So speaker role is actually you need to have an in-depth knowledge of the Pali Canon. So of course, actually we welcome to all the monk who already passed the Dhammasriya, PA, MA, etc. Right? So actually we don't want to actually have actually conversation that actually not part of the Dhamma Pali Canon, right? So that's actually we limit a little bit for these prerequisites. For must have some kind of prerequisites knowledge, and also need to prepare the matter topic upfront. So actually, you can take about 1 or 2 week time to choose your topic, and once you are ready, then actually Siado or Siale can submit to us or can arrange with us for the appointment for the Zoom meeting. So currently, based on the conversation we have with a lot of speakers, actually we may go with every Friday, 7 to 8, same timing, weekly first. So once actually more registration coming in or more appointment, actually a lot of people come forward to talk about the Dhamma talk, that we will create more session. Right now, we fix as every Friday, 7 to 8, right? Then also actually a few people ask whether I need to create like the free talking style. So you can actually refer, you can create the presentation slide or the prepared notes, because in front of the Zoom, you don't need to be memorize anything. You need to be prepare any on the notes actually in front of camera. Then the CRO or CLA can be present according to their schedule, right? So you can read from the pre-arranged notes. And actually for the conversation, so try to use a simple word as much as possible and explain in the, try to avoid Pali word. If let's say you prefer to the Pali word, then followed by explanation, right? So use a simple word as much as possible, and also try to explain one topic with a multiple point of view, so that actually people will understand what is you are trying to say, right? So this is a role to play for the speaker. Okay, for the judge, right? So although we call it the judge, but of course we are not the subject matter expert. So the speaker is actually a subject matter expert, and actually they have a more in-depth knowledge. But of course, for us, we can actually give the honest feedback on how the speaker deliver the topic, whether the formation of the sentence, the way he articulate is able to understand, we can understand, right? Articulation, the usage, and pronunciation, and any other improvement that we can actually give the honest feedback to all the monks, right? So observer is the same thing. So you can ask question and you can discuss anything. So for the whole scenario, we will give about 15 minutes for the mother speaker and 10 minutes for the actually judge and the conversation, right? So now actually I give to our Lokapala Siaro, Asin Sakapala for the opening speech. Wait a minute. How to find Siaro? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to meet all of you. So I know many of you, especially Siale Sarutasini, and many of you are in my Facebook account. So very happy to meet you all. So a few weeks ago, we Coach Jolwin and Senior Nasiaro, and me, we discussed about this and that actually. Then Senior Nasiaro proposed an idea. So we should create a space for Burmese monks and nuns for their English-speaking skills. So as we are Buddhist monk, so our topic will be based on Pali Canon. So it is good that today we invited two scholar monks. So they will talk about dependent origination, and one will talk about Brahma Vihara, 4 sublime livings. So they are very deep topic, especially dependent origination is very deep topic. So we were very lucky that we will have a chance to listen to the speakers. So after that, those who are interested, they can raise question, and also if the time is permitted, they can even further discuss about the topic. So I'm very happy for having chance to meet you all. So actually, the chance to talk in English is very valuable. So even though we know a lot, we read a lot. So if we do not speak out, so we will not be able to transmit teachings of the Buddha to other people. So speaking is a very important skill to deliver teachings of the Buddha to the general public. So to do so, we need to practice. We need to practice speaking. So when I was learning English in Yangon, so my English speaking teacher told me very often, speaking must learn by speaking. This is a 100% right. So if we want to speak English, we need to speak English. Actually, I know that many of you in the chat group, you all have a good English. I know that you already have a good English, but even though you speak good English, I think this Burmese man can speak English. So this space or this platform, this will give you a platform to talk a topic. Then then you can improve public speaking skill. So through this platform, I think we'll be able to deliver and separate teachings of the Buddha to the general public. So I think very happy for seeing so this program take place. And to talk about teachings of the Buddha in English, so actually this is my point of view. One of the most important thing is to speak very clearly. To speak very clearly. This is very important. So some people, they use very difficult language, very difficult usage. And so in that way, the listener may not be understand. And then to teach teachings of the Buddha in English, the most important thing is to make it simple as possible. Actually, speaking in simple language is not really easy. First of all, we must understand the topic very clearly. So suppose if we are talking about dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada, so we must understand what is dependent origination. So then only we will be able to make simple by using simple language, and so we clarify the topic. Then student can, the students or the listener can understand very clearly. And then there is a simplicity is very important one, and also articulation, of course, articulation. As a Buddhist monk, so we understand that to some extent we have a deeper understanding of a topic. So this is also very important one. So the Orient, especially the Orient, who are non-Burmese, so they want to learn the Dharma. So even though we have our language skill is weak, if we can speak clearly, if we can use a simple language, as long as we are, as long as we can explain teachings of the Buddha, so they have an understanding about our weaknesses. Even though we are weak in language skill, but if we can explain teachings of the Buddha in simple language, in a simple way, and in an articulate manner, then the students or the audience will be very happy. So actually, they don't expect how to say excellent skills, excellent language skills, but they expect teachings of the Buddha. So I think understanding the topic that we are talking also very important role to teach teachings of the Buddha. 8 years ago, I I started to teach in Singapore. Actually, my language skill is not very good. Even now, still struggling. So, but I'm trying to understand the topic that I will be talking, and I'm trying to make simple and articulate. So in that way, so they have an understanding regarding with my weaknesses, the language weakness. So as long what I mean is, as long as we can present and deliver the authentic teachings of the Buddha, I think the way to deliver teachings of the Buddha will be effective. So this one, number one, must be we should use a simple language. Number two, must be articulate. Number three, we must have a deeper level of understanding, a deep understanding about the topic that we will be talking. Then, and our purpose to propagate the Dhamma will be all right. So this is my my experience and my personal experience. So today I'm eager to listen to speakers. So the topics are very interesting. So maybe we will listen. Welcome everyone.
Thank you, Seattle, Lakapala, Seattle, Shinsakapala for the very valuable opening speech. Then now I go to another our judge panel for the Siali Dor Karu Zini. So actually, she's under to the nun at the 1991, and she novice at the Pernidayama Shudangong Sasana Yeta. And at 1999, she passed the Dhammasriya at the first prize. And from the 1999 to 2011, she has been, Siali has been conducting the translating, teaching the English and then translating to the Seattle and translating all the Dhamma to the other foreigner and all that. So maybe we invite Siali to give a little bit of the opening speech. Siali. Siali, attend to it, Siali.
Respect to the Venerable Sangha, and also a warm welcome to everyone who is joining this program. And just now, Loka Palasyaro had already mentioned quite some points about this program, and there's not much left for me to say. But anyway, I will be brief with some encouragement for this program. To be honest, at first I was reluctant to give the speech because my English is not very proficient. But anyway, this program is to encourage the Sangha and the Siali to give them the opportunity to give Dhamma talk in English. So this program will be supporting the Sangha and the Siali to propagate the Sasana, giving Dhamma talks in English. And I would like to share some experience as I had worked as a translator in the meditation center, and as well as I also, when I'm by myself, I travel to overseas countries to give help in the Dhamma, in meditation retreats, also Buddhist culture training program, and so on. And what I find is that there are people who, many people who do not speak English as the mother tongue. So they have difficulty because if they have limited vocabulary they may have difficulty understanding if the talk is given in difficult words. So that's why it is very important to give the talk in simple language. Not even those who do not speak English as a mother tongue, also the ones who speak English as a mother tongue, they find it hard if the talks are given in big words or bookish kind of words, because nowadays they prefer to listen, they prefer to read the kind of Dhamma that is explained in a simple way that is easier to understand. And so that's why the people who learn the Dhamma should not be discouraged by the big words that has been used or the bookish kind of words that has been used. And also I would like to encourage the speaker, please do not be shy. We also have to come across this to learn to speak English. So, and also the grammar, do not be emphasizing and worrying whether you will be making grammatical mistakes or whatever, because people who are learning the Dhamma, they emphasize on the meaning of the Dhamma that they are learning. So if you have a good grammar, it is good, but if you have some weakness in the grammar, do not feel discouraged. What the people who want to learn, they are not going to be criticizing of the grammar mistakes that you do. So that's some encouragement for the speakers. So let's get started in this program to learn the speaking skills, to brush up the English, so that language will not be a barrier to the Dhamma learning for people of overseas. So this is my encouragement to the Venerable Sangha. So hope this program will be a support to brush up your English, to break up the language barrier, to share the Dhamma teachings, the Buddha Dhamma, to be propagated. And thank you.
Thank you, Siale, Karu Dasani. Actually, I have another person, because actually, okay, for us, we are quite fortunate and actually quite happy that actually a lot of registration received for all the categories for the speaker, judge, and observer. So for me as a organizer, actually, I want to actually invite a special guest, like, okay, for example, like this Siale Panakari from Indonesia, right? So actually, to as another point of view for the another culture point of view, so that actually she can give a little bit better feedback. So now I cannot find her in here. Okay. On the other hand, also actually we have actually for the layman, we have other registered judges as well. So maybe instead of going through one by one today, why not I just jumpstart to the Dhamma Talk, right? So today's speaker is actually the Dhamma Talk speaker is Ashin Kundala, and actually title chosen is how to educate round view based on dependent originating. So Actually, Kundala is currently a PhD candidate in Thailand, and actually they are studying at the kind of in Thailand now. So maybe I pass flow to Theodore Kundala. So.
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you
Yeah,
hear
we can.
me?
Yes,
We
we
can
can hear you.
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very
Okay,
much. Now, can I start now?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Today, good evening, everyone, and I respected to the senior Sangat member and all my brother and my sister. Good evening. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Van Kundala, a PhD student in MBSc, MCU, Machuralongkorn Raja Widyalaya Buddhist University in Thailand. I'm from Myanmar. So today I have a chance to talk. This is the first thought for me. So this is very good a chance. So I'm very glad to see you all, and especially the Daga Kocholwin and all the judge and all participate. Thank you very much. I have a good chance to talk. So I'm very happy to see you. So today, my topic is how to eradicate wrong view based on dependent origination. That is the Paticcasamuppada. So this is a little bit the profound, deeply, but I willing to talk, to share as much as I can. So I have a chance within the 15 minutes. So I can speak more fluently, but I will try to explain how to eradicate our wrong view. So what is dependent origination? First, we should understand that is this is Pali word, dependent and origination, the Paticcasamuppada Pali word. So this is the Paticca mean dependent on, Samuppada mean the origination or dependent or other, the arising, co-arising. So that's why some scholar translate the Paticcasamuppada to English, dependent origination, and some scholar dependent co-arising. This is the law of cause and effect. So this is how the translate to from the Paticcasamuppada, and how to eradicate the wrong view, how connection with the wrong view and dependent origination. So we have, even our Buddhists, we still have the wrong view. If we didn't eradicate any wrong view, we still have. This is we can understanding about we all Buddhists understanding, law of cause and effects, and law of karma and karmic action. This is in Pali, karma sakta samadhi. This is all Buddhists have this samadhi. This is also one right view. But if we go to the upper level, the spiritual level, we have no nuts. We have still the round view. For example, so we have this is my body, and this is my house, this is my property. But this is we combine with the our property and our self. This is the Sakkaya Ditti. This is the identity view or Atta Ditti, self view. So this is everybody have, not only Buddhists but also other world as well. So this is very important to immediately eradicate this wrong view, because of since the wrong view leader is the Sakkaya Ditti, identity view. So that's why. So we have to cut out. Buddha also mentioned Anita Sutta, Satya Viya Omato, the Manova Medaki, Sakkaya Ditti Pahanaya, Sto Bhikkhu Pripaji. What does this mean? If we had a burn in the head, and then we have our spear pass through our chest, at that time we will be immediately, quickly to die. That is, very important to stop our fire on the head, and remove our spear on the chest. If not, we will die. This is important. But Sakkaya Ditti, the Atta Ditti, this identity view is very important to remove immediately. Better than the fire on the head and pass through on the chest. So this is Buddha said. So how to eradicate? So first, we should understanding that we are, how to eradicate. So we have to, everybody have to be way is the middle way, in the Vipassana way and Satipatthana way. That is, inside knowledge. We have to practice Vipassana. But first, struggle is we have to eradicate the wrong view and doubt. So that's why we have to understanding. According to the Mogul Sayadaw also said, before Vipassana, we have to understanding, eradicate the wrong view. And to eradicate the wrong view, we have to deeply understand dependent origination. This is the Mogul Sayadaw Ji, his Dhamm Talk, always his way teaching. So that's why I follow Mogul Sayadaw way, and then the Buddha teaching as well. So this is how to understanding, how to link with the wrong view and our Paticcasamuppada. So this is Paticcasamuppada. Why became our 5 aggregates?
I think we lost the voice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Please continue.
Thank you. And then this is our 5 aggregates. Why became the 5 aggregates? In the Namadaka Sanyutta, Buddha said, depend on ignorance, awaja in sankhara, in the past life we are done. Because of awaja sankhara, awaja means the ignorance or the Four Noble Truth, and sankhara is the volition, mental formation. We done. This is the kusala, akusala we did, the evil, and we had a good thing. That's why we began a human life. But we had a 5 aggregates now because of awaja, because of ignorance. So this is understanding. Nobody creates. This is cause and effect. This is dependent origination. At that time, we understanding this 5 aggregate, we can reduce, the mind and body. For example, now we are willing to talk this Dhamm Talk. This is our desire, this is our mind. And then why I'm preparing with the bodily action, now I'm talking with the verbal action. When I'm thinking, is the mental action, only mind and body. And the same way, or or the audience also, with the ultimate point of view, or our mind and body, not human being, or our cause and effects. This is dependent origination. So I want to a little explain about the present aspect of the Khandha aggregates. This is Khandha Paticcasamuppada. According to the Sassaka Sutta, we have Chakhuncha Paricha, Rupecha, Upachati, Chakhu Vinyana. Tainanting Paso Pasapisa. This is Pali word. Chakhung dance we have. And Rupecha means that any atom, you can see me, this is the side. Contact became an eye consciousness in our eye. And then it's contact together when began a feeling. So this is beginning eye consciousness. The same way, ear consciousness, nerve consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. We are the sixth consciousness. This is the ultimate point of view. If we deeply understand it now, we begin a right view. Why? We understand it, mind and body. Cause is the, eye sense is the body, sight is the body, contact each other, begin an eye consciousness. This is the, this is the mind and body. So this is only mind and body, not human being, not the venerable, not the monk, with the ultimate point of view. Conventional point of view is okay. Our minds are respectful and the layman. When we go to the vipassana, we have to understand the ultimate point of view. This at the moment we free from the eradicate from the wrong view. What kind of wrong view? This is from the Sakkaya Deity. This is identity view. We eradicate from the identity view because we understanding mind and body. So I go into conclusion with our in the past life. I said already. Buddha also mentioned at Namadaka Samyutta, because of our why begin a fight. Why I talk here? Because of in a past life we done ignorance of the full noble truth. This is a wager, volitional, good volitional, bad volitional, karmic action we done in the past. Because of this, as we know like this, we understanding the one kind of knowledge. Picchaya Parikanyana in Pali. This is we understanding this knowledge of cause and effects, understanding that knowledge. Now begin a mind and body. We understanding this kind of jnana mean, this kind of the knowledge mean nama rupa parichira jnana. We just divided our mind and matter. This is nama rupa parichira jnana. This, if we understanding these two knowledge, in the commentary, the Buddha Kosa said, that kind of person is called Chula Sosapan or Nama. Chula means the small, Sosapan is the first string enter. So this is the small, the winner. So this is cannot go second life, the buyer, one life, two life, but not very sure. If we have to practice, we understanding now. The Sakkaya Deity is eradicated Sakkaya Deity identity view. So second step is we have to practice vipassana meditation deeply. At the time we will be this life. This is the Balawa vipassana. This is the very mature vipassana, very strong vipassana. We can get the nirvana as well this life. So I'm going to finally. So this is very deep and profound. So I'm very glad to talk about this. So that's why. So your Paticcasamuppada Pasati, source Pasati. If who understanding dependent origination, you will understand Dhamma, true. True means the full noble truth. So that's why I'm going to conclusion. I cannot give them many examples. So we have the very limited time. We can see in the Buddha time, we know who penetrate the Four Noble Truths, who understand dependent origination. We can see the Chanda, and then we can see the Soba Buddha, he's the leper. He became a, very happy life. So, and then we can see in the Daika, another way. And then the Visakha, they became a Sosapanna, they're free from the, eradicate from the wrong view. So they are happy life. So finally, I in a conclusion, I would like to conclusion with the Four Noble Truths. This is the, the Mogusyara also all the way conclusion with the Four Noble Truths. So that's why I would like to say how to eradicate, how to practice vipassana. So we have the present life in our 5 aggregates. We can divide it by the 4 parts, 4 foundations of mindfulness. According to the Satipatthana Sutta, feeling, perception, mental formation, and then, matter, how to practice. If we practice, Chittanupassana, mind, have to focus on mind. We can choose one. So we explain, we had a 6 sense door, we have 6 mind. Now here, we have to using the, a Four Noble Path. So this is always arising in your eye consciousness, ear consciousness. When you see me, your eye begin eye consciousness. This is when we talking before, passed away already. Now arising, we alive with the arising eye consciousness, with the ear consciousness. So this is always impermanent and nature. At that time, we understanding this, eye consciousness arising, passing away. This is a nature. This is, we can say, dukkha nature. This is the suffering truth. At that time, we knowing, we contemplating, we are, the watch and observe. That is the mega nature. This path leading to the cessation of suffering, mega nature. At that time, we have the, cut the asunder of the Paticcasamuppada between Vedana and Tanha, between feeling and craving. If we see the nature feeling, the craving stop. Craving Tanha, that is the stopping, samudaya saccaya, the cause of suffering too. At a time, cannot carry on because of stopping Tanha, Tanha picca upadana, upadana picca bhava, cannot be Tanha niyoda, upadana niyoda. Tanha cessation, craving cessation, clinging, stopping. So and so on. We don't need to go to a higher state. We don't need to go to the next life. We have to stopping because of we practicing vipassana. At that time, soka, paridewa, dukkha, domanada, our or its death, or cessation. This is a nirvana saccaya. So in going to conclusion, I have a time, and now I'm talking 70 minutes already. So in a conclusion, our whatever appear in the present moment important, arising, passing away. This is a nature dukkha saccaya. When you see, when you hear, and then this is we practice, we contemplating, it's the mega saccaya. At that time, stopping samudaya saccaya, the craving, the stopping craving. At that time, we no need to go next life. The woeful existence, we free from the for paya, and then that's why in Buddha mentioned at the Satipatthana Sutta, Soka Pridevana Samatikmaya, who practice, the middle way, who practice the Satipatthana for foundation of mindfulness, will be stopped Soka Prideva Dukkha Domanatsa Upayasa. This is a sorrow, lamentations, or stopping. This is how very free from anger, free from our anxiety. This is begin a happy life. How happy life, and then nyayata dikamaya. We can be the good jnana, good knowledge, vipassana knowledge, and the spiritual knowledge as well. And then we can see the Nibbana, just like as well, the Buddha's teaching exactly at the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. That's why my topic is how to eradicate. So we have to eradicate the wrong view. We have to understanding dependent origination, cause and effect. That's why this is we cannot say I, my own, my belonging. We cannot say this is stopping the ego, stopping the identity, stopping the identity view. This is the eradication of the wrong view. This is we can practice vipassana again and again. We can gain the nirvana. Just like and happy life as well. The all peace ourselves. So in the environment world peace, in our country world peace. And then the world will be, if we practice vipassana, we can see in the Buddha time, the Guru or the Guru's state very peace, they became a Sosapanna. So thank you very much for your pay attention. If you any question, can you ask me? Thank you very much, or Judge or respected Orman. Thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now maybe I give to our judge panel. Maybe I go by this Syara Usakapala can give a bit of the opinion that what you Seattle view about this.
Okay, actually talking about dependent origination within 50 minutes, not really easy, very difficult. This is a
accelerated one.
topic. Yeah. So the first thing is Bande Kundala can speaking with the confidence. So this is a very, very good point. And connection with the wrong view and removing with the wrong view with the dependent origination. This is I think is a very good point. So the speaker mentioned about removing wrong view by understanding dependent origination. Yes, that's very important. And he also mentioned two level of wrong view. If we do not know theory of karma, then that's also the first level of wrong view. And also by practicing dependent origination, we can remove psychiatry, the wrong view or say identity view. So I like trying to give a two level of wrong view. Then, as I earlier said, that it's not really easy to talk about deep topic within 50 minutes. So actually, my sincere suggestion is that if we are talking such a deep topic within a few minutes, we need to choose two or three point. So actually, what you quote about dependent origination, so many, I will say that so many, by giving so many points, so you don't have a time to clarify. So if you can reduce maybe about 2 or 3 points, and then that will be clearer. And I also like you mentioned about simile of fire, catching fire in the hair, and also arrow simile. But if you can clarify a little bit further, it will be very nice. Actually, the similes are very powerful. Of course, as a Buddhist man, we know that what are the simile are, but the Orient may not know it. So if you can use the arrow simile, if you can explain a little bit further, that will be very nice. That will be very interesting. Very interesting. So my sincere and honest suggestion is we have to look at the timing. We got only 50 minutes. So within 50 minutes, if you put so many information, so that means it will be very complicated. But of course, I know that, but the Orient, by hearing a lot of information, it will be a bit difficult for them, especially for the listeners. How to say? I would say that who do not have a much knowledge about Buddhism, so they will have a difficulty. Anyway, it's very good to hear, to listen the way you explained dependent origination, especially you mentioned about Namarupa Preccheda, analytical knowledge about mind and body. So this is a very strong point. So you can clarify the most important part. So I understand that the most important part in your Dhamma talk is, so by practicing dependent origination, so we will understand Namarupa. So there we have only Namarupa. There's no passing, no you, no I, no venerate, no names, so no upasaka, just Namarupa. So if we understand Namarupa, then we can even become Chula Sotapan in this very life. So thank you. Actually, very good. You make a very good point. But the thing is, so I think many information. So if you can elaborate, if you have 1 hour, that will be excellent Dhamma talk. But now we have only 50 minutes because of time constraint. You couldn't explain those information very well. But anyway, we know we get the point you mentioned. Very beautiful. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lokapala Siado. So now we go to Siale Karu Dasani.
So thank you, Siado, for explaining the Paticcasamuppada, and it's very informative. And within 15 minutes, Siado could explain quite a lot of points. For us, we have learned the Dhamma, so we appreciate hearing the Dhamma again. And Siaro explained about Namarupa Preccheda Jnana, giving the example of striker, receptor, and ignition. Striker, the visible object coming into contact with the eye base, bringing seeing consciousness. So by being mindful, by practicing Satipatthana meditation, by being mindful, when one comes to understand that they are only mind and matter, the mind, the seeing consciousness, the matter, the sight, and the eye sensitivity. So at the moment of seeing, if we are mindful, if we come to discern the Nama Rupa, if we come to discern that there is only Nama Rupa, no other things such as person, being, whatsoever, we come to know distinctly between mind and matter, Nama Rupa Preccheda Jnana. And then the Pajya Prikahanyana, being mindful at the moment of seeing, they are only cause and effect, because there is the eye, there is the visible object to be seen. Seeing consciousness takes place. So Seattle explained very his explanation starting from the basic level of Namarupa Pritidanyana, Pajya Prikahanyana, and then Sarah also mentioned that continuing the meditation practice, when one insight knowledge become strong, and later on one will finally realize Nibbana. So thank you, Seattle. You could cover quite a lot of points within 15 minutes. And of course, there are small grammar mistakes that doesn't affect the teaching, and a little bit of pronunciation, because you have been learning in Thailand. I could hear some Thai accent. So I would just like to give Yaro some suggestion. When you pronounce the word, please be mindful of the ending of the word, like chest, for example, chest. But Thais may pronounce it as chest. Not the ending is not as clear. So just a small pronunciation that I would like to give suggestion to Seattle. Other than that, the Dhamma talk was very informative, and thank you very much, Seattle.
Thank you, Siale. And actually, maybe I like to call upon our layman group because actually, of course, this session is a demonstration session for everybody. So we try to actually see what we can achieve in this conversation. So maybe I will call upon Dr. Siri Wei. Are you okay to speak? Feedback?
Yes, Venerable, Kundala, right? Yeah, your explanation and the model is really perfect. It's really amazing. I do appreciate by listening that one. As for me, as a layman, I of course, as a Myanmar and Buddhist, I understand some of the words in Pali word, yeah, but I don't know deeply, just like other venerables or named. But in my point of view, that your English is perfect. And of course, and also you have a confidence and dare to speak it out, all the information that you want to give in here. And one thing is, yeah, just like very first Sayadaw Lokapala, right? Of course, you are giving a lot of information, and in 15 minutes that's yeah. As for me, just like a layman, when I don't understand all of them. So if you can point out only a few facts that is important, it will be better. And also, of course, even though we are not perfect, because I think we are not native speaker, and I am trying to speak in English as much as I can, and you also, everyone in here. So that's why I feel that, the grammar mistakes and our expression, our intonation is not important. Only one thing is, if we can communicate others well, and if we can explain where, and if the listener understand it, is our duty is really done. I feel so. So that's why here I want to suggest is that trying to say a little bit more clearly. And one thing, one we are saying, just trying to get simple example, especially for the layman. Even Myanmar myself, if I cannot understand some of them really, really well, for the foreigner, they will have some more difficulty, just like I do. So when we are talking, of course, we have to say about like Buddhist Dhamma, some Pali word, of course. But anyway, if we give them very simple explanation, I'm sure that they will understand more. Yeah. Thank you so much, Venerable.
Thank you, Materi. And actually, Mike Yente, you want to say something?
Yes, Kucholin. Can you hear me? So I think firstly, may I pay respect to all the vulnerable Sayadaw and nuns, but this is really a great presentation, I believe. Just a bit of I think simplification is needed. And also one suggestion I did that might also help Sayadaw, how he conduct the next presentation is bring the audience next step by step. Now, I think all the information is congested in the short presentations. Sometimes we get lost in the middle, especially even though we try to understand a lot of Pali language and etc. However, we are wondering what will be speaking or bringing us into the next presentation, next topic, and etc. So I did try to simplify a bit more in that manner will be very good. And my another suggestion is that such a complex topic, can we think of the presentation rather than the speakings? Speakings is good for the simple topic, but such a complex topic, we need some visual to help us really understand, especially we are going to conduct to the non-English speaker who do not have the basic Buddhist knowledge at all. So these are some of my, I think, humble requests to Sayadaw. And very good thing, Sayadaw has a lot of good confidence, the voice clarity and intonations, and also Sayadaw have a very good eye contact as well. So these are very, very positive. Please continue with this, but try to, I think, simplify a bit more on it. His topic will be the perfect presentation. Thank you, Sayadaw.
Okay, thank you, Yente. And from the floor, anybody want to raise any question or give the feedback, please raise your hand so that actually I can put you to the spotlight.
Can I have a talk, please?
Okay, sure. Am I pointing to the right person? Right?
Yes. Okay. Sayadaw, firstly, my comment is not much about the Dhamma because my Dhamma knowledge is very basic, but my suggestion is more about the presentation. So explaining this topic even to Myanmar people in Myanmar will be very, very difficult topic anyway. So having said that, you started with explaining the dependent origination and Paticcasamuppada, and then you took a bit of time to explain that. But personally, my view is those words itself are a bit hard to understand. So if I were you, I would just say it is about cause and effect. So it is simple and everyone can understand that. Okay, and another one is you explained that it is the round view, and then it from the listener point of view, it is not clear. Okay, this is wrong view. Then what is the right view? But because I have pre-knowledge about that topic already, I know you are talking about mind and body. But for someone who don't have that kind of knowledge, will not understand that clearly, and then the explanation about, okay, there is no self, there is only mind and body. So what will happen is for most people, if we just say mind and body, they will all come back to my mind and my body, which basically means that self anyway, right? So that's the confusion I had when I started to learn the Dhamma as well. So this is just my personal view, and then I prefer you have quoted some of the Pali passages. So those Pali passages will not be understood by most laymen, especially the foreigner who don't have any knowledge about the Buddhism. So if they don't understand it, it will just confuse them more. So if you are just explaining to layman people, just I would say not quote the original Pali passage. And next point is use the Dhamma words or technical jargon as little as possible. For example, like you said, Jnana. So instead of jnana, you should have said knowledge. You said apaya, and people will not understand that. And balawa vipassana. So for ordinary people, they won't understand it. And the rising and passing away and nesa, they won't understand those things. So as I said before, if they don't understand it, it will just confuse them more. And the next point is the audience level. Okay, so what you presented will be understood by someone who has a very good foundation about the Buddhism. So someone like from academic background or something like that. But for layman people, it would be very, very difficult to understand. So my suggestion would be, for me, it sounds a bit more like academic lecture rather than a daily conversation. So my suggestion would be, something that you prepare for academic purpose or to someone who has a lot of knowledge. That will be quite different from preparing for layman with a very basic knowledge. So I would say, think about the audience. So if you are presenting to academic people, then okay, you can use a very technical jargon and Pali language. But if you are presenting to layman, use technical terms as little as possible. Okay, and the last point I want to make is use a simple English word such as eradicate. Eradicate itself is a very if you are speaking in English, not everyone is a native speaker. So it's, for example, some people from Indonesia, Thailand, from Vietnam, English is not their first language. So even in English, use simple words such as instead of eradicate, use remove or correct. So that kind of thing. And one last point is at the end of the presentation, I would suggest you repeat the points that you want to make. Something like they can take it home and they will remember when they go home, that's something they will remember. So I would suggest repeat those points because after listening to that, I was a bit struggling to understand. Okay, what are the key points I should remember? Okay, so those are my personal view. But your English is perfect and your presentation is good. But as I said, this topic itself is very hard topic even to explain to Myanmar people in Myanmar language. So having said that, your presentation is good and English is good, but just trying to get everyone understand that itself is a very difficult task. All right, yeah, that's it for my suggestion. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Good job, Mute. So anybody have any question? So because we have another speaker there.
Okay, can I speak a few words?
You are, maybe can you raise your hand or how can I?
There is a no, option for raise your hand. I'm there also.
Let me find out whether what I raise hand. Or maybe what is your name so that I can try to find?
They also here.
They also.
The third one from the top, at least in my list.
Also Din. Okay, I found it.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Also Din. You hold on.
Can I start?
Maybe why not I remove the spotlight so you can voice. Okay, now you try to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, thank you very much for the your delivering speech. That is very useful and it was delighted for me. But I'm not a domain expert. That's why won't be discussing this topic. Rather than I just want to highlight some of the English language that you are using. Even though I disagree with some of the judges' comment that, or they say the grammar is not important. It is not, because when you speak English, you have to react like a English, Otherwise, it could be very discouraging. For example, I will highlight the way, the Theodore used the word. I wrote down here that they were saying that we have to understanding. There is a no word called we have to understanding. We have to understand something, right? That is a correct word. We never say we have to understanding. Another one, actually, I want to highlight that is very, very important, and no native speaker speak. Whenever we talk about, we discuss about. Actually, we never say we discuss about. When we say we discuss, actually, we discuss something about. For example, I can tell you, we discuss this program about how to conduct weekly, something like that. We never say we discuss about. That is actually very wrong English, by the way. So that is, I write down the very particular son of the English, but I would like to suggest when you actually speak, because as we Burmese, we speak very softly, our mouth doesn't move very much. But when the English speak, they use their mouth very fluently. That's why their pronunciation is very good. When we Burmese speak, our the way we pronounce are very difficult to understand other as well. That's why actually when you speak slowly and then go to the point. But at the same time, I want to highlight the way actually the Sayadaw actually deliver the speech, right? When I actually realize when you say conclusion, your conclusion is about 15 minutes. But at the end of the conclusion, we didn't get any, take home message from that. That's why, but what I would like to suggest, because we are starting this program now, right? Actually, if you need to prepare for 15 minutes, please write it down as a script and then think about it. What are the things I want to include in my talk? Whether I can cover this within 15 minutes. What are the take home message I want to give to the audience? For this preparation, it could be better, but we don't mind if you are looking at the script and then reading it, but we could start from that point. After that, if you get more confident, you can speak without looking at the script, That is some of my suggestion. Another suggestion for the English language improvement, because I came to Singapore 14 years ago, even though I'm a medical doctor, I'm not perfect at all. But what I did was actually I always listen to the English all the time. For example, I listen to the English 2 hours a day for 3 years. From that point, I grabbed the son of the usage of the English. So, but don't worry about, because you would think, okay, I just listen, I cannot speak. No, if you listen enough for a long time, whenever you need to speak, it will automatically come out from your mouth. That is very true. Now I became the teacher in the university or medical student. So that is the way I practice. I listen. But because I listen, actually, the way the English speak is very different from what we Burmese speak. That's why when you want to deliver speech to the audience who are the English listener, you have to speak with the very confident English language, that one of the important in the pronunciation. So the first thing I want to actually suggest here is, please listen if you have some time. Another one is, please download the free dictionary. It contains the two languages pronunciation. It contains both British and American pronunciation. So whenever you are not very clear about pronunciation, you can actually download this app and try to listen on your phone as well. That is what I did for the long times ago. So that will make you improve and will make you actually understand how you should pronounce this one as well. At the same time, even though the CLE highlighted the grammar is not important, but you have to understand for the basic grammar rule as well. For example, the first thing I highlighted, the that we have to understanding, that is actually the very wrong grammar. So we never say we have to understanding. The correct one is we have to understand something about. So that's actually we need to actually catch up about the basic grammar. That is important when you deliver the speech as well. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, so we move next to next speaker. For the Seattle. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Now Sierra. Just now is a mute. Okay. So Sierra Aloka. Sierra Aloka. So Sierra Aloka also maybe Sierra may introduce yourself and then continue the matter, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So first of all, I want to say I'm very happy getting opportunity to share my Dharma talk with you. Before talking my Dharma talk, I want to introduce myself. I'm Venerable Aloka from MC University, Thailand. So today, my Dharma talk topic is cultivation of for Brahma Vihara, supply living for world peace. Today we can see that many leaders, including United Nations, are trying for world peace. But many people are having trouble because of violence. So as we are religious leaders, we have responsibility to illuminate what is the best the way for peace. In my opinion, the best trajectory for peace, it is cultivation of for Brahma Vihara, supply living. Because to tell you the opposite of violence, it is loving kindness. If you have loving kindness, you are not going to kill other. If you have loving kindness, you will help the other. So if you are absent of loving kindness, you will be angry person. When you will be angry person, next you may going to fight with other. If you fight with other, your environment, your society, your community, your country will be trouble. How they can be peace? That is why we need to cultivate loving kindness today. And according to Buddhist literature, we find one of the very good benefit, that is the loving kindness can cure the insomnia problem. Today we can see that many people has the insomnia problem, that is mean cannot sleep very well, right? So according to Buddhist literature, if we practice loving kindness meditation, metta meditation, we can sleep very well, right? That is why we need to practice loving kindness meditation. Then another thing, we have to deeply understand that if we have loving kindness, if our mind is full of loving kindness, our mind will be peaceful, very clear. When your mind is very clear, your physical body condition will be good, healthy, innocence. Your face will be very beautiful, very handsome, no need to make up, right? So that is why we need to practice loving kindness meditation. And another thing, we have to deeply understand that if we practice loving kindness meditation, we automatically keep in first precepts of Buddhism, which is no killing. You see, they are interconnecting each other. We need to deeply understand. That is why we have to practice loving kindness meditation. We have to cultivate loving kindness today. Then second, let me explain the second one. The second Brahma Vihara compassion, which is known in Pali language as Karuna. The synonym of the Karuna is also, we can say that Avihingsa. This is the same word. The Karuna, this is the Buddha in Anguttara Nikaya, the Arati Sutra. He said that Avihingsa Pahanaya, Avihingsa Bhavitabba. It is mean the Karuna, compassion also can remove, can control, can protect that violence. That is why we have to cultivate compassion as well. If you are lack of compassion, maybe you will be cruel person. What cruel person do? Cruel person, they try to hit other, they try to beat other, they try to speak, they try to talk harsh speech with other. Your cruelty, your harsh speech can make other unhappy, not peaceful. That is why we need to cultivate the compassion as well. Then the compassion, when you have the compassion, you have to understand that you are not going to steal other properties. You will not take other properties which is not given, because you have compassion. That is why the compassion is very important. And one of the definition I like very well, they define by James Doty from the Stanford University. He also the director of the science, the compassion department in Stanford University. He said that compassion is recognition of another's suffering and desire to alleviate that suffering. You see, the compassionate mindset, it is to alleviate other suffering. That is why this is very important to cultivate the compassion. Then the number 3, I want to explain the sympathy joy. The number 3, the mudita, the Brahma Vihara. That is the sympathy joy. It is known in Pali language, mudita. I want to say that the mudita, the sympathetic joy, it is a psychological buffer, or a psychological therapy to protect human over selfish, to reduce human over selfish, to control human negative emotion, to control human jealous problem. That is why I can say that the person who is the lack of the mudita, the sympathy, they are very arrogant person. They try to compare with other, that, the comparison, their comparison maybe make next day competition, negative emotion. That is the first step of human conflict. We need to understand about that. That is why when we can cultivate the sympathy, we will be, very wide-minded people, open-minded people. That is why the sympathy is very important. And another thing we need to understand that today we can see, some people, they have the autism. Autism it means loneliness. They live alone. Why? What is the problem? The problem is they have big ego, their concept is I'm best one, I'm great one. This is wrong concept. But when you can cultivate your sympathy, you can automatically reduce those kinds of wrong concepts. That is why we need to cultivate sympathetic joy. We can also see today some people, they have the dissatisfaction of living. They are not happy with their life. What is the problem? Buddha in Arati Sutra said that Arati Pahanaya Mudita Bhavetappa. It means we need to live happily, satisfying ourselves. When you compare with others, oh, they are very successful, and you look into on yourself, I am very smallest one, and you upset. You see, that is when you have these kinds of concept, you will not be happy. You will not satisfy with your life. That is why we need to cultivate sympathetic joy as well. And when you have the sympathetic joy, we can also they translate like unselfish joy. And you also will get one of the benefits, that is the non-judgmental happiness. You are not going to judge other, that guy is bad, that guy is stupid. Those kinds of things sometimes can make human unhappy. That is why when you have the sympathy, you also can control your jealousy, envy, malice, etc. Then you can live happily. So sympathetic joy also very important. When you personally, individually, you are happy, you can make happy other as well. You can make the peaceful other as well. That is why the sympathy also very sympathetic joy also very important. The last, the Brahma Vihara is the Ubekha. It is called equanimity or equality. This is a very important today. Some people, they have the anti-corruption. What is the problem? Their lack of equality, Ubekha. That is why you see in the United Nations, the Universal Declaration, the first article, they wrote that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and right. You see, equal or equality, this word. It is mean for the human rights, also the equality is very important. United Nations, they established, I think, over 70 years. But the Buddha have taught about the equality 2,500 years. But we need to use his teaching. That is why the equality also very important. When you have the equality, you will automatically control the discrimination, caste system, and chauvinism. Today you see some people chauvinism. Oh, our nation is great. Our country is great, like that. This is wrong concept. When you are going to be a great leader, you have to be careful to maintain this equality. Then some people, they do the wrong the decision. What is the problem? Because of their absence of equality. That is why we need to they cultivate equality as well. So this is the Brahma Vihara. When we have these four qualities, we automatically can cultivate one great thing. This is wisdom. When we become the wise person, we can understand what is bad thing, what is good thing, what is holism action, what is unholism action. The words, Pali words, manusa, really human. In Sanskrit, this is called manusha. It is mean a person have to understand what is good, what is bad, what is evil, what is benefit, we have benefit, what is holism, what is unholism. After understanding, they have to follow, or they have to cultivate, and they have to avoid it. So what they have to they cultivate, as I explained it, we have to cultivate loving kindness. We have to cultivate compassion. We have to cultivate sympathetic joy. We have to cultivate equanimity. When you have these 4 qualities, you can say you are real human. That is why for the world peace, we need to understand ourselves. We need to change ourselves. If you want to change the world, first you have to change yourself. What do you have to change? You have to change that angry person to loving kindness person, cruel person to compassionate person, jealous person to sympathetic person, discriminative person to equal person. Then when you have this quality and you have be like this, your environment, your society, your community, your country will be peaceful. So what we have to do, finally, in conclusion, I want to request that all my Dharma brothers and sisters, please for the world peace, change yourself first and cultivate this for Dharma Vihara, then we can make the peaceful world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Seattle Ashin Aloka. So now I call our judge, Seattle Lokapala, Seattle Usakapala, to give some feedback.
First of all, I want to say that this is excellent.
Yeah.
Very clear, and also eloquent. So you speak with a little bit of joke, and also you can use some of the important Pali. Actually, when we are talking about Buddhism, quoting Pali also very important. Even though people may not understand Pali, but this make our statement strong. So now I hear that Pandit Venerable Aloka, he quoted some of the important Pali from Anguttara Nikaya. But of course, when we are quoting Pali, we must explain its meaning. So Venerable Aloka can make it very important. Another one is the Venerable Aloka can connect teachings of the Buddha with some of the wisdom idea. Just like he explained compassion using how to say that one of the famous author from the West. So this make the clarification clearer. Compassion is a connection with the suffering people. And also, when he talk about mudita, he connect with the egocentric mind. So when we don't have a compassion in our mind, so we have an egocentric comparison. We try to compare with other people based on our ego. So this statement was very strong. So I like it. Then your conclusion is very beautiful. So we get takeaway message. So one of our one observer or judges, he gave the importance of takeaway message. This is very important, and you can make a very beautiful conclusion. The one thing, and then two things, only one thing. I mean, I want to say that one thing, may I sincere suggestion. You're talking about 4 sublime state, so which is a very beautiful 4 sublime state, 4 Brahma Vihara. So the way you talk is just like giving a speech, like a president, Mr. Obama is giving a speech. So the way you present this topic, of course, you're full of confidence. So I want to maybe a sincere suggestion. If you can speak a little bit softer, like a softly and slowly, then the way you present will be more effective. So the weakness that I saw is only that one. So your presentation style is just like giving a speech as a politician. So maybe if you can present 4 Brahma Vihara in a softer way, so that will be perfect. So regarding with the English language, I will leave it to the other judges because I just focus on the Dhamma. Okay, Pandi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lakapala Siado. So now we call our another judge, Siale.
Siale, we cannot hear you very well.
So thank you, Shadow, for your Dhamma talk on Brahma Vihara. Shadow used general knowledge in explaining, and Shadow has some sense of humor that made a smile on my face. A few of the pronunciation that I would like to give Seattle some suggestion. When Seattle said about curing insomnia, please pronounce cure properly. And I would like to suggest Seattle to slow down in pronouncing some words so that the listener will hear the word properly. And another word is the English word for upeka, equanimity. I would like to ask Seattle to pronounce slowly, equanimity. Other than that, I like the way Seattle said that in order to have peace in the world, in order to change the world, each and individual, all of us, each and individual should change ourselves. So that is a very important point. Each and everyone should change in order to make the world change, from angry person to loving person, from cruel person to compassionate person, and so on. So this is a very good message for each and everyone in order to bring peace in the world.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Siale. So now I call Dr. Thierry Wei.
Venerable Aloka, right? Your presentation is really perfect and really great. And I really appreciate I have a chance to listen and even have a give some advice in here. So when I listen that, of course, yet like other students already mentioned that you can make other some jokes in the talk, and you can say like very clear message, and yet. But as for me, when I feel that just like when I'm young, also the way that I speak in English, I'm not sure about how others people think. But for say Venerable Seattle, I think you have some essence of some other nationals from Myanmar. I don't think you are Myanmar, or I'm not sure that you may have some other nationality, or I feel that. So when you're going to speak in English clearly, I want you to listen more English talk, or some, if possible, if you can watch or other speaker talking, it will make you have more confidence and be able to speak like a native speaker or nearly native speaker. Yet, and also when you say also sometimes that's like one of the Venerable Seattle Lokapala said that our topic is cultivating for Dhamma Vihara, right? So this one, if we can say it softly, yet so people will be right, yet topic and the way you speak will be matching, and I feel like that. And also, of course, people we are listening, of course, we just like for us laymen, when we are listening like jokes, and also that you say some Pali word that make it strong to your presentation is really great. I do appreciate these words. Only just I want to give you suggestion is please listen some more other people native speaker talking that will help you to forget your own Myanmar or other essence, and to be more like the people who speak like native speaker or nearly native speaker. Thank you so much, Bernard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Thi Wei.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I call Yin Yin Thi. Are you still there? Yin Yin Thi, are you still there? Okay, maybe we anybody else want to give comments? Just sound
Okay, can I have a?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, can I have a talk, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Theodore. Because of the time constraint, I will skip what has been perfect about your presentation, because people have mentioned that. So I'll just focus on the improvement. So firstly, the topic name. So cultivation of 4 Brahma Vihara for world peace. So if you advertise that topic and try to work on the people will not understand that topic name, especially for someone who don't have Buddhist knowledge. So Brahma Vihara, they won't know what it is. So then they will not come and listen to you. So instead of putting the title like that, I would say cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, empathic joy, and equanimity. That way, people will know, oh, okay, you will be talking about loving kindness, compassion. Okay, I'm interested in, and I'll come. So then they will come. Okay. Another one is try to use the simple English instead of advanced English. As I said previously, even though you are delivering Dhamma talk in English, not everyone who are listening are native speaker. So some of them has a very basic English. Some may have a little bit better, or some may have advanced English. So it is always the best to use the simple words, even in English, such as, for example, like cultivate itself is quite a bit advanced word. So instead of cultivate, you might say promote, Okay. And a bit of pronunciation. You said illuminate, something like illuminate. So it should be eliminate. And you said something like opposite or something. It should be opposite. And you said it is mean. So it should be it means with S. It means. Okay. And the last point is. I'm not sure if I understood it wrong or not. You presented like equanimity is something like equality in English. But uh, if I'm not wrong, equanimity is not equal to equality. It's not equal to equality because equality is being equal between white people and black people, equal between rich people and poor people. That's what equality is about. But I think in Dhamma, equanimity is the balance between if you have a pleasant sensation, you don't get greedy. If you have unpleasant sensation, then you don't get upset. So you are trying to balance between greedy and anger and that sort of thing. It is not about equality as in English war. So that's what I understood. So I'm not sure if I understood it right or not. Okay, so that is my suggestion, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think equality and equanimity, they are the synonym we can use to understand how the people understand clearly. That is why we need to use also another word, the synonym. That is why I use equality and equanimity. Thank you very much.
I think, let me say if you want. I think not wrong, but it needs a little bit of explanation. So I think using, of course, you didn't explain why you use equality to translate equanimity. Of course, equanimity should be, upekha should be translated as equanimity. But if you can explain why you use the word equality, so I think that will be very, within 50 minutes, I think you cannot explain. But of course, it make the listener, your information is not enough, not efficient to understand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else to give feedback or any question from the floor?
Hi, Tiangso again. Can I speak?
Yeah, okay. You can turn on your video. Yeah.
I have also a question.
I don't know whether you can see me or not, but very interesting topic. Thank you very much for that. But I can see that you are very energetic. This is what I like to suggest. It. The way you talk, your upper body is shaking because we are using the mic, right? I can hear it in the voice, you're very low and then very high, something like that. So that if you can abstain from shaking your upper body, it could be better. That's the one point. Another point is whenever you introduce a Pali word, followed by explanation of this Pali word, what does it mean? Because most of us actually do not actually understand the Pali words. That is a key point. Because we are not trying to learn Pali words. We want to learn the essence of what the Buddha's teaching is. So that's why whenever you introduce a new Pali word, you have to explain it again so that people will appreciate what you are actually trying to emphasize on it. Otherwise, because you usually repeated using one Pali word, another Pali word, so everybody really forget again, and at the end of the day, they didn't get it. But another point I want to highlight is whenever you want to give example, you can use the real world example as a very good example. At the same time, I like to suggest, if you use actually the Buddha's example, what had happened in the story of the Buddha, the Dhamma teaching, that might be a better way. Actually, we can actually emphasize both real world example and the Buddha example, so that people can more appreciate, what the Buddha teaching is about. So that is a key point I want to highlight.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks for everybody, and also actually a lot of the other speaker are also listening, and thank you for stepping forward to actually give the example for other speaker to come forward and prepare for the next presentation. So thanks for these two Sayadaw to come forward and make it happen for our this conversation and the matter and our Man Can Speak English program. So hopefully that actually we can attract by doing this conversation, we can promote our platform to come and join by the many other young monk to speak out, and also we can make some actually discussion among ourselves. Okay, thank you very much. And also next week, Friday, we have the same session, but we will need to prepare with another speaker, right? So, okay, thanks everybody. So see you on next Friday.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Thank you very much.